Okay, you guys have heard me mention several times recently my CD listening backlog and how enormous it is and how out of control it is. Well, just to show you that I'm not really exaggerating, here you go. That is a little more than half of my CD listening backlog. Yeah, and I just bought a bunch more CDs. Greetings, one and all, and welcome once again to Tom's Hit Parade. By the way, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, share this video with your friends, and leave me your thoughts down in the comments section. You would make me jump for joy. Figuratively, maybe literally. So here I am, kind of breaking my New Year's resolution to lighten up on my CD buying. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's already February, and this is the first big CD purchase I've made this year. So I guess it's not all that bad. But anyway, you can see now that I make a haul video at the drop of a hat for just about any excuse to make a haul video. And this one is Jury Duty Excusal, my Jury Duty Excusal haul. Yes, I was summoned for jury duty on last Wednesday, February 4th, signed up, and I checked in the night before, and no jurors were needed, so I was excused, and I had a free day from work, and so I decided to go ahead. And what else would I do on a free day off of work except hit up some of the thrift stores? I hit up two Goodwills and two St. Vinny's, and I came out with a fairly decent haul of CDs. And yeah, just adding to what you just saw in the huge CD listening backlog. But as of the beginning of March, with if all goes well, at the beginning of March, I will begin to chip away at my CD listening backlog, as I have successfully done with my vinyl listening backlog, and I will be making an ongoing series of playlist videos on that stuff. So anyway, yes, I came up with a couple of dozen ish CDs. I thought I would show them off to you. Just see the goodies that I got for $1.99 or less at St. Vinny's and at Goodwill. Yeah, CDs are typically 99 cents each at St. Vinny's and usually $1.99, occasionally more at the Goodwill stores. And being 55 years old now, I get senior discount, so I get 10% off, I think it is, of that. So hey, what's not to like about that? So anyway, starting off with a couple of classical CDs, slowly putting out my feelers in terms of classical music. Here we have Pictures at an Exhibition by Mussorgsky and the Firebird Suite by Stravinsky from the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra. I think that's how you pronounce it. I believe that's is that Dutch. No, I don't think it's German. But anyway, Carlo Maria Giulini is conducting this performance. So yes, I don't know if I have any CDs with the complete either of these works in their entirety on theirs. On the other hand, one work that I know I have, I think four, and this is I think my fifth version of this. I've just started to collect them. I'm going to eventually listen to them all and see, find the little differences, the subtle differences between them. That is Peter and the Wolf by Prokofiev. This one is, was it? Doesn't say what orchestra it is. The French National Orchestra, conducted, I guess, by Lauren Mazel, and Peter and the Wolf is narrated by Alec Clunes, who I am not familiar with. I have never heard of him. But yes, and the Peter and the Wolf is coupled with The Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra, as is the case with a couple of the other versions of Peter and the Wolf that I have. So yes, I've got versions narrated by Alec Guinness, who else? Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard, Patrick Stewart. I've got one version done by Weird Al Yankovic and Wendy Carlos. So that's kind of fun. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Wendy Carlos, I did not intend to segue in that quite so well, but speaking of Wendy Carlos, I did group the classical CDs together. But yes, I found Switched on Bach 2000. Yes, this is the updated version of Wendy Carlos's original recording of Switched on Bach that she did back in the early 70s, I believe. So I'd kind of been looking out for this one. So I'm glad to find it in the St. Vinny's classical section. So yes, lots of fun there. I'm sure I'll have a lot of fun there with that. And there's a series of New Age. We're going into the New Age stuff now. Kind of segueing roughly by similar-ish genres. I've got the first 4 or 5 volumes of Mannheim Steamroller's Fresh Air series, and I found volume 8 there. And this is, I guess, the last or most recent one that was done. And this is actually, they do it with the London Symphony Orchestra, which is, I'm a big fan of the London Symphony Orchestra. They are the orchestra that you heard in the original Star Wars and Indiana Jones trilogies. The scores that were of those were performed by the London Symphony Orchestra. So, and several other scores from the 80s and 90s particularly. So I figured this would be fun to listen to. I've enjoyed the Fresh Air uh, albums that I've heard so far. And now we're on to a couple more Narada titles. As you know, I was a huge fan of the Narada New Age label back when I was in my New Age phase back in the early 90s. And I've just kind of been, whenever I see one that I don't have yet, I go ahead and pick it up. This is Mil Amores by Doug Cameron. And yes, I know he is obviously a violinist or fiddler. I'm not sure which technically he classifies himself as. And then another one here. This is apparently done with in cooperation with Arizona Highways Magazine, which I didn't know. I actually didn't see that until just this morning, after 2, 3, 4 days after I brought it home. But this is an album called Skywatching by the artist Michael Gettle, and I think he is a guitarist, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, pianist. Uh, Michael Gettle piano synthesizers. David Lons, who is another Narada artist, he guests on piano. Paul Spear, Nancy Rumble, so a bunch of Narada artists I'm already familiar with otherwise are guest star on this Michael Gettle album. So should be fun. Then this next one, never heard an album by this duo, so I thought I would give it a shot. The Best of Tuck and Patty. I believe this is a new age or instrumental jazz duo. So, should be interesting to listen to. And now we're getting into the jazz stuff. This one I've never heard, but I've seen this album cover, everywhere. It's kind of ubiquitous, and so I thought I would give it a shot. It was at Goodwill for $1.99. Al Di Meola, John McLaughlin, and Paco de Lucia, and they're live in Friday night in San Francisco live. And this was an recording done in, trying to find a date. 1981 is when the copyright date on the CD. But yes, this is kind of a famous album, I think, in jazz circles, but I've never listened to it, so I figured I would give it a shot. So yeah, should be lots of fun. Now this next one, you will remember from my jigsaw puzzle video recently. And those of you who bypassed that video thinking it was actually about jigsaw puzzles, it's about CDs. So you'll have fun watching it, trust me. But yeah, this is, I actually found a better condition copy of one of the ones that was in my jigsaw puzzle video. So I picked it up. Heads Up by Dave Veckel or Weckel. I'm not sure how he pronounces his name. But yes, I believe he is a drummer, a drumster. You can see looks like he's twirling a drumstick on his finger there in the pictures on the back. So yeah, the CD that was in the jigsaw puzzle video was rather scratched up and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that into the St. Vinny's pile and pick this one up. And another one by a GRP artist, as you might have seen the Dave Weckel CD. This is a guy I've never heard of before. He is a flutist or flautist. His name is Philip Bent. I assume that's how you pronounce it. It's called The Pressure is the name of the album. So yeah, gotta give this one a shot, definitely. Never heard of the guy, so it could be very interesting to listen to. So yeah, always up for exposing myself to artists I have not been familiar with. This next artist, though, I am kind of familiar with because he guest performed on a Bare Naked Ladies album, I believe. Oh no, I had that. That's confused. I confused that with somebody else. He guest performed on a Rippingtons album called Topaz, which had a southwestern Native American kind of theme. He plays a carved wooden flute, which has a beautiful, distinctive sound. Yes, check out the album Topaz by the Rippingtons if you like Southwest or Native-inspired instrumental music. But yes, this is a guy named Robert Tree Cody. He's a Native American, obviously, and he is a flute player. Yes, as I said, his work on that Rippingtons album was outstanding. So as soon as I saw a solo album by him, I had to pick it up. So I'm going to be very interested to listen to this one. Should be quite entertaining. A couple of soundtracks here. I already had a version of this, but this is actually an expanded version. The soundtrack from the movie version of West Side Story. And trivia note: John Williams plays piano on the recordings of these. So yes, yeah, had the original version. This one's got some extra tracks on it, so was very happy to see this one and pick it up. And then another one that I have never given a shot to. For some reason, when it comes to soundtracks, I'm always a little bit turned off when the artist is more famous for their pop rock work. I don't know why. Because there's a there are a couple of soundtracks that Sting did, and I can't remember some others, like the ones that Trent Reznor does. I'm just not quite interested in trying them out, at least not yet. So this one I kind of hesitated on because it is by Mark Knopfler, but it's the soundtrack from The Princess Bride. Beautiful movie, a lovely, adorable movie. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. Great movie. So yeah, I figured especially for being at, I think this was at Goodwill for $1.99, so had to give it a shot. And yes, it is probably, as much as I like soundtrack music, I don't know why I still have that prejudice against rock and pop artists doing soundtracks. I'm stupid sometimes. I'm just flat out stupid sometimes. Anyway, moving on to some traditional or classic pop music. I have a 2-disc compilation of this artist, but this is one of those 2-in-1 album things, and I thought I'd pick it up, give it a shot, because for my backtracks videos, this her first album is coming up in a couple of years. It's going to be a couple of years before I have it as a candidate for backtracks, but I thought it's never too early, especially since I never see this CD. I've never seen it before. But anyway, Julie London and her 2 albums. This Julie Is Her Name and Julie Is Her Name Volume 2 are the 2 albums featured on this. So I give that one a try. And yes, she became an actress later on after her singing career kind of went on the back burner. She was in an adventure TV series in the 1970s called Emergency, kind of like the progenitor to the 911 series that are going on right now on TV. So, take a quick drink here. What? What do you want? Huh? Do you want to go bye-bye? Okay. Okay. I'll be done in a bit, okay? Goofy kitty. Okay. This next one, I actually didn't see until my second go through of the racks, so I'm kind of glad I saw it. Not a huge fan of this artist, or I was not really super interested in her, but I thought I would pick it up and give it a shot. This is a Jackie D. Shannon collection. It is What the World Needs Now is Jackie D. Shannon, the definitive collection. So I thought I would give it a shot and take a good sampling of what she sounds like. I think she's one of those artists that I've heard a couple of songs of hers here and there, but otherwise never really investigated or explored her music. So thought that was definitely worth the 99 cents. And then here we have this one. I'm pretty sure I've had before. Got rid of it. I don't know why, and you'll have to forgive the obnoxious sticker on the front because I have not recased these yet. But Al Jarreau, his album Accentuate the Positive, one of his later albums, obviously, 2004, where he takes on some Great American Songbook standards and other stuff like that. So yes, I had it before. I don't know why I got rid of it. Well, I was desperate for shelf space at the time. So, but yeah, happy to reacquire it for a very nice price. Now, this next one is another one that I didn't see until my second go round on the shelves, and I'm glad I did see it because this is actually something I was looking for. Haven't been looking for it long enough to have him, kind of rooted onto my mental wish list. So I would tend to forget about him for while I'm searching the racks, forget about that I'm looking for him. But was looking for a specific song of his. I won't explain why right now. Maybe I'll explain later on. But that song is on this album, and I'm glad I found it. And my wits were about me, and I picked it up. Roger Miller, classic country singer. And yes, the song I was looking for was King of the Road, which is the first song on here. So, yeah, very nice to. Yes, You Can't Roller Skate in a Buffalo Herd is one of the other songs on here. So, and Do Wackadoo is another one. So I'm sure I will have lots of fun listening to this one, as well as being very happy that I finally was able to acquire King of the Road there. So, and then moving on with the country titles. This one wasn't really looking for this one particularly, but it was in good shape, and it's a remastered CD with bonus tracks and is a bit of a milestone, important recording in the history of country music. Christofferson, the debut album by Chris Christofferson. Yes, the remastered version with a handful of bonus tracks on it. So, yes, not particularly a Chris Christofferson fan, not for any particular reason, just have not explored his work. But yeah, it's part of the American Milestones series in here. Now, this next one, I picked up her most recent album, which just came out this year. It just looked interesting. Never, unless I'm forgetting, I have never really listened to her stuff before. But this one is kind of legendary. It's one that kind of was a critical darling in her discography, and a lot of people have talked about it on the YouTube Music Universe. And there it was on the racks for 99 cents. So I picked it up. Car Wheels on a Gravel Road by Lucinda Williams. So yes, definitely going to look forward to listening to that one. As I am, I kind of repeat myself saying that. Of course, why would I buy these CDs if I'm not looking forward to listening to them? Anyway, so yeah, figure that should probably be an interesting listen. It has to be worth at least 95 cents, right? So anyway, and this one, I didn't realize until recently that I'm only a few albums, 2 or 3 albums away from having this artist's complete studio albums discography, aside from collaborations or compilations. And so I decided to go ahead and add one more to the list, especially since the disc is in remarkably good condition for a disc in a digisleeve at a thrift store. And this one I'm talking about is Norah Jones, her album The Fall. Look at the puppy dog. He's a cute puppy dog. I love puppy dogs. Anyway, I love dogs. What can I say? But yeah, now I'm only missing, I think, 2 of her albums. So yeah, more doggies on the back. Yay, doggies. That's yeah. I might have to do a video. I don't know how many CDs I have that have covers that have dogs on the covers of them. Probably not very many. Anyway, I was saying I could make a video out of that, but it probably wouldn't be a very long video. Anyway, another surprisingly high-profile CD in surprisingly good condition at a thrift store. Shoot Out the Lights by Richard and Linda Thompson. I am slightly familiar with Richard Thompson's work. Don't really know much of anything about his work with Linda Thompson. So I'm just kind of in a continuous process of sampling and metabolizing their music. So figured I'd get this one. This is another one, kind of like the Lucinda Williams, gets a lot of raves on in the music community. So definitely worth a shot at that one. Pick that up and give it a shot. And now this one, I didn't realize that this album existed, and I didn't realize, I wasn't sure what it was at first because the title wasn't familiar to me, but it had a couple of songs on it that I really like, and it turns out it is a compilation by Peter Schilling, the 80s new wave artist. I think he's German, but yes, he is the most famous for the song Major Tom Coming Home, which is track 2 on here. And the next track on there is The Noah Plan. It kind of has a little bit of significance to me and my little brother Noah, obviously. And some other songs from 1 or 2 of his other albums. Yeah, this collection spans 2 or maybe 3 of his albums, and it did not sell very well. But maybe at some point I will find his the album that Major Tom was on. I cannot remember the name of it right now, but I've got it on LP. Maybe I'll find it on CD eventually. But for the time being, it's nice to have a little compilation of Peter Schilling's stuff on CD. Down to the last 2 pop rock CDs here. This one I thought I had, but I actually did not have, and it was put out in 1986, so it will be a candidate for this upcoming year's Backtracks videos. We've got Hot Together by the Pointer Sisters. I was about to say the Rolling Stones. Like, no, that's not right. I would probably was thinking of Hot Rocks. No, yeah, Hot Together by the Pointer Sisters. It's got the title track was featured in the movie Spaceballs. That's how I know. That's how I recognize the title track from. But yes, I don't know if it was one of their more successful albums because I don't think it has any other particularly significant hits. Not that I recognize by their titles anyway. So, but yeah, definitely, I like the Pointer Sisters. So it's obviously very good to pick up another one of their albums as well. And now this one, let's see if I can get the rest of this price sticker off because it is obnoxious and I did not have time to recase these. Well, I had time to recase these, but I didn't have the motivation to between when I bought them last Wednesday and today. But this is another kind of like which one was it? Julie London. This is a 2 albums on 1 CD thing and I didn't know it existed, and I've always been wanted to seriously sample this artist. It is Big Star, and here we have Number 1 Record and Radio City, both albums on 1 CD. So yes, very happy to pick this one up to give Big Star a nice fair listening shot in see what I think of them in the greater music universe. So yes, was quite happy to pick this one up, and again, at a thrift store, disc in great condition. So as you can see, I found some great stuff in my haul. Oops, sorry, bumped the tripod. In my haul at the thrift stores for early February. So hopefully it'll be a while before my next thrift store crawl, because as you saw at the beginning in my cold open, I have got to start trimming down this CD listening backlog. It's ridiculous. It's huge. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Be sure to like it if you liked it. And before you go, drop me some feedback in the comment section. I would love to know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon to catch my future videos, hit my username to browse my old videos. Links to my socials and my favorite fellow YouTubers are in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember, life's too short to be a music snob.